Chauncey Wells Jr., Jalen Crocker Johnson. Questions for either of the athletes?
Jalen, what did you feel like was key to the way you guys started the game?
Just coming out, knowing that we have to come out and get stops. We emphasized it all week, just on their offense. Like, they're very talented, give credit to Alcorn State. But, just coming out with that mindset that, they can't get nothing easy out the gate.
Jalen, you didn't have a double-double last year at Colorado State, and now you've had 2 this year at Minnesota. What do you contribute that to?
Just having my mindset, because obviously, coming from Colorado State to here, just trying to take on a bigger role, give more to the team, other than scoring. So, just coming out with that mindset, trying to get my guys going with the mindset, give them all energy-wise.
Chauncey, you guys had a morning tip-off. Might be unexplainable to kind of have a little slower start, but this is the second straight game where you guys came out and just stifled defensively. What's been the theme here for you guys?
Like I was stated previous, it's just you gonna have nothing to lose, so we're gonna go out there and play regardless of who we play or whatever. We're gonna go out there and play because nobody. That's what we're gonna emphasize on defense.
Chauncey, you didn't score the last game, but Coach Medved and your teammates both kind of mentioned your energy, and I guess how did that help you kind of have a more productive game on the offensive floor tonight, knowing that your teammates always have your back?
I just just play the game, play the game I love and just do it every day and just just give the guys what I learned from previous years and just give it to them. So just bringing energy whether off or on the court.
Nico has a high standard for you guys. What was kind of the talking points coming out of the game?
Just mostly on the defensive end because, we're only going to get better on the offensive end. Just execute, take care of the ball because, they're a scrappy team. So, but it really starts on the defensive end. That's what's going to create our offense.
You guys have a big game looming next week against Missouri. How quickly do you kind of celebrate this win and move on to that game?
I'll say, just celebrate this win now. We'll watch them over on Monday. Forget about the game. Start our 2-day prepping. Just get locked in for that one.
Players? All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
No, that's right.
Are more players coming up, or is that it?
Coach, come, coach. Is that good, Charlie? Okay, spot?
Yeah.
time for all these questions today, right?
Head coach Nico Medved. Coach, opening statement, and then we'll open it up to questions.
Really happy with our guys' mindset here this morning. We talked a lot about that, who's going to be the more ready team at 11 o'clock, and guys' mentality was awesome. I thought we were really locked in defensively. We were hustling on the glass, all those things that you're looking for. And, obviously our defense led to some early offense, and we just never looked back. And so, again, the rebounding was terrific. Jalen Crocker Johnson, a career high in rebounds. Guys were first on the floor. So again, I just thought the team overall, their mindset was great. And hopefully that's something we can continue.
I think you talked about kind of the morning start and having to be ready, but you also had a great start at the beginning of the Gardner-Webb game. What are the things you're kind of emphasizing pregame to have two great starts?
I don't know. I think it starts with obviously, being intentional about the things that we need to do to be successful against any opponent, but also, opponent specific, right? So some things maybe in a scouting report or what they like to do, and being locked in, communicating, playing with great effort. And that's every, buddy. I'm sure every coach wants to do that, but, give credit to the players. They've been really locked in with, whether it's been practice or walkthroughs or film sessions, they really take information and they buy in, and they've been doing it.
Jalen didn't have a double-double last year at Colorado State. Was this kind of the role that you saw for him when you wanted him to come with you to Minnesota, I guess?
It's a great question. I think you gotta remember too, Jalen was a sophomore last year, and now he's a junior. I think a lot of guys can really make a jump as they become an upperclassman, and he's gotten stronger. He's also played at a high level. He's won a championship, he's played in the NCAA tournament, and so he knows, what that looks like. And what's interesting is, he hasn't shot the ball well from the perimeter yet, but he did last year. I joke with him, and he played because I love him so much. Unbelievable. He guarded number 7, his best player. That was a huge emphasis today, was to make 7 have a tough day. I think 7 didn't score, I don't think, for them. That was Croc's matchup. He did that, he got on the glass, and I said, so you were unbelievable defensively, career high in rebounds. He might have had a career high for missed shots too, for him. And I just told him that downstairs, and he laughed. But again, it's not about just scoring. Do you know what I mean? That you affect winning. It was like Chauncey the other night, and that's what I love about these guys and him is like, he's gonna just do whatever it takes for the team to win, and that's why he's so valuable.
Nico, last year's team and Ben's teams a lot of times struggled from the free throw line. How do you feel about you guys shot it well from the free throw line tonight? How do you feel about this team in strike?
Well, I hope so. We shoot pressure free throws every day in practice. We work on. I don't say a lot to them about free throws, but we were able to work ourselves to the line a lot tonight, and then we cashed in. You don't see a lot of games where you only make 5 threes and still score 95 points, but a lot of that was our ability, right, to get to the free throw line and then cash in. So that was great to see. And I hope that's a good trend, for us, continue to make free throws, because that's critical to winning.
You guys dominated on the glass again with Jalen and Robert, both 6'8". Some people might think that you're small going into Big Ten play. What encouraging signs have you seen from your front court so far this year that you think you can handle yourself in better competition?
Well, rebounding is something that translates no matter what size you are. A high school player who has high rebounding numbers usually can rebound in college. And you look at guys that have played in college that have, high rebounding efficiency metrics. Usually those guys, they can be 6'4", and they're going to rebound at the NBA or overseas. Those guys are both really good rebounders. Rob, when we played against him in the Mountain West, when he was healthy, he was a terrific rebounder. I think we have some guards who rebound the ball pretty well too. So I don't know that rebounding is all about size. It's about, nose for the ball, effort, all those things. Yeah, we're going to lack some length, sometimes inside. We're going to play against a lot of bigger, more athletic teams than we've seen so far, so we're going to get challenged at a different level. But our guys really have done a great job on the glass on both ends, and that's been a big point of emphasis in practice for us, because we know that's got to be a big thing. We're going to be undersized sometimes, so we've got to mitigate it with great effort and great tenacity.
Nico, to lower level opponents, obviously it's going to change here this week. What are the things that you kind of pull out to nitpick to improve from Wednesday?
I look at it. I think we had a lot of offensive rebounds. Coach Warner on our staff, he always says too, proximity doesn't mean permission. And what I mean by that is just because you're close to the basket doesn't mean you have permission to shoot. So sometimes you get an offensive rebound, and we call them daggers. Offensive rebound, maybe you can stick it in, but sometimes offensive rebound, you got 3 guys on you, kick it out, right? I thought we had some opportunities there to maybe kick it out, and that's are some of the best threes you can get, dagger threes. I thought sometimes our paint poise wasn't great. We drove it in there. We just didn't finish well at the rim, I thought, today at times. So I think that's something that we can continue to get better at. In the second half, we had a couple, ball screen errors, but again, our defense was pretty good. But I would say that, just some of those decisions on offense, we got to get a little bit better.
Looked like there might have been some frustration from you with turning the ball over a little bit. Is that a problem that you saw a little bit?
We 12 turnovers against a team that pressures a lot. I just thought there was a couple casual ones in the second half. Guys are going to turn. Mistakes happen. This is a game of mistakes. You got to move on. But I don't do well with casual. There's already a couple casual turnovers that were just sort of sloppy passes, one on an outlet, one early in the second half, and so you can't play casual. And so it wasn't anything big, but just a reminder that it doesn't matter what the scoreboard is or whatever. You can't practice playing casual.
Do you have an update on BJ and Grayson?
Hopefully, Grayson's back, Gardner Webb game, he's feeling better, we'll have to see, moving forward. And, same thing with BJ, it's just something from the summer, just kind of a nagging thing that way. But hopefully they're making progress and we can get him back to the practice court because we're a little thin and we need to get those guys back with us here.
And Isaac looks like he's dealing with the back thing.
Yeah, but man, he's a tough. What's one thing about Isaac? It's like, he doesn't say, he never complains, never does ever. He's battled through it. But hopefully, again, it's something that he's going to continue to get better too as the season goes on. Because he definitely, hasn't played at 100%. But I think he felt better today than he has in a little while.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nico.
Thanks, guys.